Just notice your breathing. Notice where you sense your breath. So just sit comfortably.
Mm-hmm.
You can sit on a pillow or on the floor, whatever works, whatever
Is this
feels.
better for you?
Yeah, that's perfect.
Okay.
That's just fine. Yeah, just notice. You trying to get some.
Yeah, I decided I wanted to move my camera a little bit
Sure.
more
Yeah.
over,
Well.
so I don't hit the chair. Okay.
Okay. So just check in with your breathing. Notice where you feel your breathing. Notice whatever you sense. Maybe you feel your breathing in your chest or in your belly. Just notice whatever you sense about your breath. Maybe you might sense either the inhale is longer or the exhale is longer. Just see where you can sense your breath and what you feel as you breathe. And sometimes it's hard to pay attention to the breathing and not change it. Even just paying attention to it can alter it a little bit. So just really notice where you sense it in your belly,
Okay.
in your chest, if there's a longer inhale or a longer exhale. Or perhaps you like, maybe the inhale is more comfortable than the exhale, or the exhale is more comfortable than the inhale. See what you can sense about your breath. And I will say, there in the Feldenkrais method, and my belief is that there's no right way to breathe, or there's no, some schools of thought, they'll say you need to breathe in this way and out this way, or breathe this way. And what we really believe is that you want to have adaptable breathing so that you can breathe in any situation, breathe in the ideal way that is called for that particular situation. So we're going to play with that a little bit today.
Okay.
So when you're ready, and just lie on your back and get comfortable.
Is this still centered enough?
Yeah, you're just fine. Just right. Yeah, you're just fine. And if you like, you can bend your knees and bring your feet flat, or you can leave them straight, or you can, kind of go back and forth based on your comfort level.
Okay.
So again, check in with how you feel your breath, what you feel as you breathe. Notice if you feel your breath into your waist, into the sides of you, into your back, into your chest. Where can you sense your breath? And begin to notice if you can sense a pause in between your inhale and your exhale, and a pause in between the exhale and your inhale. And begin to allow a little bit of space in between. Such that you can kind of sense you could sense 4 cycles in your breath, so that there's an inhale and a pause, and an exhale and a pause. And continue, really leaving some space in between. We often rush that space. And so we're going to just invite a little bit of room in between the exhale and the inhale, and in between the inhale and the exhale. So continue that exploration for yourself and notice if you can sense your breathing in your throat or your nostrils or maybe your mouth. And just let your jaw relax. Let your eyes relax in your eye sockets, your shoulders and neck relax. Now begin to see if you can sense what is the progression of movement. So as you inhale, what's the first thing that moves? And then what moves? What can you sense about the movement in your diaphragm or in your torso? Maybe it's the belly, maybe the ribs. Maybe you feel something under your armpits or into your back. See if you can really sense the progression of movement. And then similarly, begin to explore the progression of movement as you exhale. What lets go first? And then what? And then what? Just continue that exploration a few cycles, sensing that progression. And then just, you can let it go a moment and just rest. You can let go of focusing on your breathing and just kind of rest a moment. So next, now that we've sort of observed our breath, we're going to begin to perturb it intentionally, sort of influence it as a way of building different options and possibilities. So when you're ready, you're going to exhale completely and just hold your breath for long enough that you sense your cells really want that inhale, and then go ahead and inhale fully. So don't hold it too long, but it's just enough. So do that just a few times. You can have a little cycle of breath in between, but do it a few times so that you exhale, really release all that breath fully, and then hold your breath on the exhale. And when you're ready and you feel your cells needing that oxygen, go ahead and inhale fully, and then pause. Let there be a little bit of a cycle of breath in between. And maybe do that once or twice more, just a few times where you're exhaling completely, holding your breath, and then inhaling. And then just pause from that exploration. Return to your natural rhythm of breath when you've done that a few times. And when you return to your natural breathing, how does it feel? Anything different? Just notice any changes or not. We're really celebrating our breath today, our respiration. Now, when you're ready, if your knees aren't bent and feet flat, go ahead and bend your knees and bring your feet flat. And then just check in with your breath again. Notice if it's changed in any way. Go away. I'm sorry, my email just popped up and I want to make it go away. Why is it doing that? Okay. There we go. So now, begin to exaggerate your belly. See if you can really inhale in your belly and imagine there's a big ball and you're really exaggerating your belly breath so that it goes out and down and back. Let your belly get really big and full. And then just so your back can press into the floor, your sides kind of inhale everywhere and then let it go. So play with this idea once or twice during an inhale so you can have a little cycle of breath in between, and then explore this idea again where you really exaggerate. Imagine a sphere in your belly where your belly gets big and it goes everywhere, and then you can let it go. This air fills your whole pelvic bowl and your belly, and then let it go. And then rest when you've explored that a few times. And then next, you're going to hold your belly in and breathe in your chest and your upper back so that your chest and even under your armpits, that whole area gets really full, like there's a big ball there, and then let it go. And explore it a few times where you pull your belly in and the chest gets big and your breath is in your chest, and then you let it go. Really letting it be a big, full breath in the chest. You press into the floor in your upper back. Your chest comes out in the front and out in the sides, and then you let it go. Notice how you're breathing as you explore this. You can let it be light and easy. It doesn't have to be too big. You can let it be light and easy, but just exaggerate the breath in the chest and then let it go. And when you've explored that a few times, rest again. Let that go. Notice your breathing as you rest. Notice if you feel any new places that you sense your breath, or maybe deeper breaths. Now next, you're gonna alternate this idea of a ball in your belly, and then you're gonna move it to your chest. I'm gonna refer to it as a seesaw breathing. So I'll describe it first, and then you can kind of play with the idea. On one inhale, you're gonna go from inflating the belly to drawing in the belly and inflating the chest, and then going back and forth with this idea of a seesaw breath. See if you can do a few of those seesaws in one inhale, and then just exhale to let it go. So you're sort of inflating the belly, then sending that inflation up to the chest, going back and forth as you inhale, and then exhale, just let it go. And when you've done a few of those, just pause and rest. You can lengthen your legs anytime and rest. And when you're ready, you're going to do a similar exploration where you inhale, and then on the exhale, you do the seesaw breaths where you inhale, you inflate the belly, then you draw the belly in and inflate the chest, then you draw the chest in, inflate the belly. So do a few of the seesaw breaths during one exhale, and then inhale fully, and then explore that seesaw breath, several of them during one exhale, and then inhale. So just try that, a few cycles of that, and then rest. And just go ahead and rest again. You can lengthen your legs, take a little bit longer rest if you like. Okay, so when you're ready, you can do the next activity with the legs long or bent. So you pick for what's comfortable for you. So the next perturbation we're going to do is you're going to inhale, and then you're going to exhale in short, sharp bursts. So you've got one long inhale, and then you're going to get all the air out. And then you can have a cycle of breath in between, and then go again where you inhale fully and exhale in several short, sharp bursts. Yeah, just, you can make them, see how many you can get in there. Inhale one long, and then exhale. We call that staccato breath. Exhale fully with staccato breath, and then just a little cycle of breath in between and repeat. And when you explore that 3 to 4 times, just rest again. Yeah, good. Just rest again. Good. So next, we're going to do the staccato breath during the inhale. So you can exhale fully, and when you're ready, inhale in that similar pattern of short, sharp bursts until you fill your lungs, and then exhale completely in one long exhale, and then inhale in those bursts. Rest when you need to. Pause in between. Explore as you go. And then when you've done a few cycles in that inhale staccato style, just rest again. Yeah, yawns are invited. Welcome. Yes. Yeah, that's right. Me too. And now, just start to pay attention again to your breathing. Notice what you sense about your breath again. Notice if you prefer you like the inhale more than the exhale. Maybe you enjoy the exhale more than the inhale. Maybe it's about the same. Or notice the length of each and see if you can sense that pause in between, so that there's 4 parts to the breath. The inhale, the pause, the exhale, the pause. And again, begin to sense the progression as you notice. Where do you feel your inhale begin? What happens first, and then what happens? And what happens next? And similarly, begin to sense the exhale. Notice what begins to let go first, and then what happens next. And then what do you sense? Good. Now, when you're ready, just take your time and come to sitting. So no rush, you can roll onto your side, just take as much time as you need to come up to sitting.
Okay.
And check in with your breathing again and sitting. Notice where you feel your breathing. Now imagine being in the world in imagine being in a stressful situation. You can kind of imagine whatever that situation, maybe it's on the computer trying to get on Zoom, or maybe it's in the grocery line and people have taken all the toilet paper.
That's a good one.
Or maybe someone's coming close. You're in the grocery store and someone's coming a little close and you might be feeling a little nervous.
Mhm.
So as you imagine the stressful situation, pick one of those perturbations that we did. It might be the staccato breath on the inhale, or the seesaw breathing on an inhale, or staccato breath on the exhale, or staccato breath, or the seesaw on the exhale. Just pick one and do that. And do that right now. In this imagine this situation, and you're going to just focus on your breathing and do one of these influences of the breath, these little exercises. Okay. Whichever one you want, go ahead and do that. Now, when you've kind of done that exploration, go back to that stressful situation and maintain some awareness of your breath, some kind of centerability.
Okay.
And just let your breathing be easy and natural in that stressful moment, in your mind's eye, that stressful moment. The point being that we can access our breath in most of the time, unless it's a really stressful situation where you really have to act for your life and you have to really, but most of the time you can pay some attention to your breath even in these kind of stressful moments. And it's a way to access our present moment and kind of come back to ourselves and bring some presence to the moment and not let it get you too off balance.
Right.
Yeah, so just notice your breathing now. Notice if it's any fuller, any different. Maybe you notice it in one new place. And you can let it go and rest and have a nice evening. The rest of your day.
You want some feedback on which one worked best for us?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, share anything that comes up. Yeah.
So I chose, I let the toilet paper go, and I chose the one of being in the line at the grocery store. And maybe the person being a little too close. And the one that felt best for me was the staccato release, the staccato exhale. As I did the inhale, it was almost like that was a way of maybe bringing that person closer and into me. But when I did the exhale, it was like maintaining my space better.
Boundary.
And,
good.
And the staccatos were easier for me than the back and forth.
Although the seesaw is challenging.
I've done that in the past in yoga classes sometimes. You breathe into your chest and then push it into your belly. But I found the staccatos easier to do. So anyway,
Great.
That's cool.
Great.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing. Anything you want to share, Claudia, about your experience?
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Oh, okay, because I lost the picture, but yeah, I think that especially the exhale was easier for me, like the staccato exhale was easier than the inhale.
Yeah.
And but overall, I noticed from the beginning of the class to the end, I was breathing much easier. Yeah.
Good. Excellent.
I don't know
why sure.
Disappeared, but I'm glad that you can still hear me.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened. Yeah. Well, yeah, I felt like this was kind of a timely exercise for celebrating our breath and how key it is to our survival.
Yeah, and how to relax the breath, how to get the breath to help relax us.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I like. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Allison.
Yeah. Very
And,
welcome.
this is good because I tend to do more shallow breathing, and so so this is a good awareness too, and to practice more balanced breathing. You know.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. Play with it. Have fun. Keep
Okay.
yawning.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks,
Next
guys.
week again?
Next week again.
Next week
Absolutely.
again, and I'll be on time this time. I promise.
Oh, it's all good. It's all good. Yeah, and if I can help Madeline, let me know if I can
Okay,
help.
I'll practice with her a little bit, but she can do that through her iPad, right? Can she?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yep, you can do it on the iPad.
Yeah.
One key is you have to allow your iPad to have access to your camera and access to the audio.
Okay, I'll remember.
So that's
Yeah,